What type of love are you attracting? It doesn't matter if you're in a relationship or single and happy to be single or looking for that special someone. It all comes down to what type of love are we attracting in all types of relationships. So I would like you to take a moment and look at these three cards. Which card is drawing you in? What is your message for today? Welcome to my channel, The Healing Academy with Connie Rose. And if this is your first time, welcome. And if you've been here before, I'd like to welcome you again. And thank you all for your shares, subscribes, and being here for me. I really enjoy that because I like to show up for you, and I love it when you show up for me. So let's get into it. Let's have a look at what love you're attracting. So let's start with card number one. So card number one is, here's a beautiful one. It is simply, you deserve love. You are lovable. I just want you to take a moment and feel that card for a moment. You actually do deserve love. You are lovable. So I know that regardless if you're in a relationship or not currently, you need to be reminded that you're actually allowed to receive. So in your relationships, it feels quite one-sided. And when relationships feel one-sided, it's quite imbalanced. You may feel that you're always the one doing things for the other person. And in that becomes, and this can be subconscious. It doesn't have to be conscious. But your message today is that this is going on for you. And it could very well be that you're starting to feel a little bit resentful, and even to the point where you may be feeling rejected. And the thing is with this rejection is not necessarily from other people, but it's from yourself. It's almost self-taught, where you've got into this space where if you block love, then you can't be heard from others. Yet you're in this energy where you're feeling rejected and hurt already, but you're the one doing it to yourself. So if you're already hurt, you can't get more hurt, right? If you're already blocking love, you can't let love in. So there's a little bit of a story you're telling yourself at the moment that you aren't getting what you want. You're not feeling satisfied in relationships, but here's the catch. It's actually you in your story. You're telling yourself that it's not something that you're ever going to have or ever going to manifest, but this is just an old story. So I want to dive in a little bit more and get a bit more to this story, because I want to know firstly where it came from and how to stop it, because there is plenty of love around. But there's just, for some reason, there's a bit of a story you're telling yourself that it's for everybody else and not for you, which we all know is not true. Okay, so the next card we get is the Five of Air. And this is about, and it says, mistakes, melodrama, reassessment. So the thing is, with mistakes in life, I find them very refreshing. I urge you to go out and, you know what, let go of the outcome. And if there's a mistake that's made, great, you know what not to do. But if you just sit back and expect everybody else to fill your cup, it's not going to happen. And if you have a look at this game, it almost looks like you've been playing by yourself. It looks like you're sitting there cross-armed, just not even almost making a move, just expecting people to come to you. And in that, I mean, the word melodrama, we all like to be dramatic from time to time, right? It makes a little bit boring situation a little bit more fun. But in that, nobody wins. Nobody wins. And it's time that you really have a look at your relationships and really take hold of the part that you're playing. Really take hold of the fact that maybe it's not as two-sided as you think. And I'm not here to tell you you're doing it wrong. I'm not. I'm actually here to remind you that this is a human existence and we all get, say, one chance at this life. And I would hate for you to sit back and expect everything to come to you when you're not putting in your part. And again, I want to go back to saying this is not even deliberate. You're not doing this deliberately. This is very subconscious. So just be very mindful what you're playing at. They're the words I get. Because from that space, you can then start reassessing what's going on for you and do something different. Do something different. So I just want to get another card to give that a bit more clarity. So where it's coming from is very much from a very young age. And this behavior has only been a protection mechanism. So it's not something that you can really blame yourself for. It's not really you can blame anybody else for either. So it's almost like just a time where you can sit by yourself and feel what it is that you actually want. Because you are the creator of your life and it's time that you do that. So blocking everybody is not going to give you what you want. So I don't want you to be telling yourself you're rejected anymore, that type of thing, because it is safe for you to receive. And this card says the more you allow yourself to receive, the more resources you have available to share with others. Open your arms to receive and be a conduit for good coming to you and through you as it blesses the world. And it's just confirmation that there is an abundance of love out there. And it's time that you start really listening to the story you've been telling yourself, because it's gone on for too long. And people want to love you. You want to be loved. And it's time now that you start working on why you're putting this energetic blockage around you and not letting people in, because it's time that you realize you are lovable and you do deserve love. And just to finish off, I'm just going to get one more message. And this is just like a little, it could be an affirmation or just a little message I want you to hold on to. And in that it says, a difficult decision must be made. Evaluate and reconsider if necessary. So I'm going to leave that message with you, and that is for card number 1. But do not forget, it is time that you realize that you are lovable. All right, so that was card number 1. I'm just going to pop them away. And for those of you who chose card number 2, let's move on with that one. And card number 2 is healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Oh, some deep healing going on here for card number 2. Oh, you know, once I went to a retreat many years ago in my early 20s, and we all sat around and everybody said all the damage that their parents had done to them. And really, I sat there thinking, geez, everybody's sounding like a victim here. Why are they blaming their parents for their life? Why can't they, you know, take ownership? And I was getting into this space of thinking, what the hell are these people talking about? By the end of the weekend, when I really focused on things that I went through, I was thinking, oh my God, and then they did this, and then they did that. And, you know, parents, I'm a parent myself, and I know that as a parent, we will always do the best we know how at the given time. And hindsight is a beautiful thing. But know that when we forgive our parents, it's not about blaming. It's not about, you know, saying that they did this to me, and if it wasn't for them, I'd be a better person, I'd be further in my life, and I'm just like my dad, or I'm just like my mum, or they abandoned me, they weren't there for me. Look, we've all got a story to tell. We really do. But when it's time we really really put ourselves in our parents' situation, if we were them at that time, what would have we really done differently? Would have we? Would have we realised what we were doing? Would have we been more mindful? And when we find the compassion, we can then realise that whatever they did was the best that they knew at the time. Not necessarily would go back and say do it again, but that's life. It's a journey. We're human. So firstly, whatever's going on in your world of love and what you're attracting, there's something here that's almost duplicatable, you know that word, of one of your parents or their relationship. And there's always a story of, you know, if you have, for example, an alcoholic parent, and it's interesting to say you may be attracting an alcoholic partner, or you may absolutely despise alcoholics. Like there's a strong connection to that addiction. And this is only an example which will resonate with some and not so much with others. Just take what resonates with you. But once we get into that space, and, you know, and I say it a million times, when we forgive someone, we don't need to let them know if it's not appropriate or if we can't reach them or if they're no longer living or whatever the case may be. But when we sit in peace of forgiving someone, it's about us. It's actually not about them. It's not like we tell them, you know, you did this and I forgive you, and letting them off the hook, so to speak. It's about us knowing that letting them, forgiving them in our heart makes space for more love. So take that as it resonates. Let's look into that a bit more, because I want to know what sort of love that you're attracting. And right now, the love that you're attracting, like the Spirit's saying here, is a replica of what you truly wanted because of the way your parents were, or the complete opposite, what you truly didn't want. And the thing is, sometimes when we really, really don't want something bad enough, we actually attract it because we're focused so strongly on it. Okay, so the next card we get for you, card number 2, is Quiet Retreat. And it says it's time to disconnect from the outer world so that you can discern and process your true thoughts and feelings from your inner world. Create this quiet time for yourself and you'll have more clarity about what to do next. So for some of you, this reading would be quite a shock or quite the realization. Be gentle with yourself. It doesn't have to be, oh my gosh, you know, I've got it wrong all this time or anything like that. This is not what these readings are about. It's just purely what energy that you're putting out there and what story you're telling yourself. And in order for you to be able to move through these family issues, and you know what, the card says parents, but it could be grandparents, it could be ancestors that you've never met. We all have an ancestral lines going through us. So when we heal ourselves, we actually heal all those that came before us and all those that go after us as well, come after us. So that's big. I want to say that's big shit. So I really urge you to sit quietly with this new idea. And for some of you, this isn't new, but it's certainly time that you address it. And nobody's really going to be able to assist you with part of this. This is really your own personal stuff. So sit in there in a quiet retreat and see what comes up for you. And then you'll know what's next and how you'll go about it. Okay? All right, so let's just get a bit more information here for you. But yeah, it's all about sitting still. Blech. Isn't that horrible? And then we get the healer card. Gorgeous. And in this retreat, you will find time to have big shifts. And in that movement becomes healing. And this healer card says you have the spiritual gift of healing and the desire to share it with others. So you may very well be a healer. And sometimes you may not even know that you are. And I know a lot of professions actually have these traits without realizing, like a hairdresser, for example. You sit there and people talk about their life, and next thing you know, you're a counsellor. You're having a counselling session and they walk out feeling wonderful because they've just dumped everything on you and got a beautiful hairstyle. So know your boundaries within this healing side of things. And when you work with others, you always heal yourself. Always. So in this quiet retreat and working through your stuff, if you feel it necessary to share it, when you're ready, it will come out gracefully and easily, but you'll know the timing, okay? It's all about timing. And in that, not only will you help others, but you'll be helping yourself as well. And it's very, very important that you maintain your balance in that. And let me just pull another card for you. Card number 2. Okay. And we get the sadness and the isolation card. Now, this is behind you. On this process here, you're going to realize that all this sadness and isolation will just dissolve because you're unpacking the stuff, the ancestral lines you've been carrying, and some of it's not even yours. So when it's almost like over time you've been in situations and relationships going, I just can't put my finger on it. And now when you realize it's actually not being your stuff, you're going to put this sadness and this isolation behind you. Because you're working on yourself, you're taking the time and the space. When you're ready, you will share it. And in your sharing, it'll heal you even more. The sadness and the isolation will then dissolve. And you'll be in a space of, the word they give me is resurrection. I'm going, no, that's too much. And they're like, no, it's not. Say it. No, okay, resurrection it is. Resurrection it is, coming out from the darkness. And finally, just with your message, is great enthusiasm. Great enthusiasm and interest motivates you towards a new venture. Work hard to achieve your new goal. And there is a bit of hard work going on here, but you're ready for it. You've been drawn to this card, so take what resonates with you and keep moving forward. And that is your reading for card number 2. Thank you. Oh gosh, they're big readings when we look at what sort of love that we're attracting. What sort of love we're attracting. Okay. All right, and third card, last but not least, let's see what this one is. Oh, trust. I'm trying to be funny, but it keeps going in and out of focus, so I'll stop that. Trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. Oh, wowee. Wowee, this is huge. Absolutely huge. What is a relationship without trust, right? What is a relationship without trust? Not much. Not much. You have been hurt in the past. You've had every trick in the book has happened to you. It's very, very hard for you to let people in with the idea or the expectation that they will hurt you. So the type of love you're attracting is almost like you're walking on eggshells here. You're not sure to let people in. It's like you just make up your mind that it's always going to be bad, or it's too good to be true, and you're saying stuff like this. And it's very much because of your past. It's very much because of the experiences that you have been through in this lifetime. And I feel there's three significant times. And this is not only in love relationships, this is in life relationships as well. So let's just dig a little bit deeper and see what's going on here for you. Okay. All right. We've got the moving on card. Moving on. So I know that right now you're in a situation where you are putting the past behind you. Doesn't mean you're moving away from relationships, but it certainly means that you're moving away from the mentality that you've been carrying around, that people are here to stuff you over, basically. You're putting that past, you're putting it past you. And you see the number 8 is the number of eternity. So you know that there's more of a flow going on now. It's almost like a realization that's happened for you of late. There's something that you've awakened to, where you've realized that, you know, there's more to it. There's more to these relationships of attracting people in your past that are untrustworthy. It's almost like you've attracted the frequency of people where you know they're going to have ulterior motives, or they're going to not be as honest or have as much integrity as you. So there's something like on an energetic level that you welcome them into your life purely because you're almost setting yourself up for failure. And it's not something, again, that you do deliberate, but it's almost like you go into subconscious to conscious, subconscious to conscious, just so you know that you can say, I told you so. And it's not a place that you want to be part of anymore. You're ready to release it. You're ready to let it go. And you're moving on from that type of situation and that type of relationships because you've quite frankly had enough. And you know what? This pandemic that we've been through as a collective has brought out so many silver linings. So I wouldn't be surprised if you've been in a relationship and really been magnified, being locked down in our homes, you know, on and off the last 2 years, where you realize, is this it? Is this where I'm at? I need to up the ante. I need to change my energy, and I need to change everything. And that's where you are. So it's unfamiliar territory, uncharted waters, and it's quite scary, but it's very exciting because when we have our gratitude, we realize what we actually do have. And this card says, counting your blessings and feeling gratitude for what you already have helps you to be centered in your heart instead of fixated on worries in your mind. What and who are you grateful for right now? It's a great time for you to take pen to paper and write down a list of everything that you actually do have. Because the more we focus on what we have, the more we get more of that. The more we focus on what we don't have, hey, guess what we get? More of that. So be mindful where you're putting your energy at the moment, because keep focusing upon gratitude and you'll discover the amazing generosity of this universe. I love that card. I love that card. And, you know, I've got a feeling you've actually started doing this already. I have a feeling that you're taking those extra moments with people in your life and sitting there and smiling and letting them actually in and absorbing them, really soaking in that time when you're with them. And if you aren't doing this, I certainly urge you to, but I feel like you've almost decided that that's what you need to do next. So it's a decision that's made. I certainly know that there's this will change everything for you. And just get you one more card to dig deeper into this situation. Oh, yes. And the last one here is beautiful. Once you start working through all of this stuff, the next one is infinite abundance. Oh, don't you love that? Check the card out. She's got all the fruits, and it looks as though, you know, when I look at this basket, she's got all the fruit in. I can feel that, you know, I take this fruit and more appears instantly. I take it because, you know, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the food and I get more food. I'm grateful for the friends. I get more friends. Or I'm grateful for the time I spend with my friends or family. I get more time to spend with them. So it says here, you're fully supported as you devote yourself to your divine life purpose. And I really believe that when you're on purpose, it's all about really sitting back and expecting things to be wonderful, expecting things to be great. Because when we sit in this space of not trusting, we lower our frequency and we become quite fearful, reserved, isolated. And know that that's in the past, because you're moving on now, because you're going to be grateful now for what you've got, which brings more abundance, which is absolutely phenomenal. So I'm very excited. There's lots of big shifts going on here for you. Lots. So let yourself feel feel things without actually having to judge yourself too harshly. And just your final little affirmation or message to finish off this little reading for card number 3 is, do not attempt to safeguard the current situation, for it will be disrupted anyway. Instead, try to face it honestly, what is before you. So throughout this healing process here, really be honest with how you're feeling, and don't try to, I guess, push down your emotions. Don't try to sabotage relationships and that type of thing, because you're doing everything differently now. And when we do things differently and go into different frequencies, it can get messy before it gets brighter and lighter. And just don't walk on eggshells. Just let it be. Be you. Keep striving forward and know you're exactly where you need to be. And that is your reading card number 3. How very exciting. Thank you very much for everyone tuning in today. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all those magical YouTube things. And tune in next time when I bring you another reading or an EFT video or a meditation. And comment below on how you went or what card you chose. I love hearing all that. Take care. Be kind to others, but especially be kind to yourself. Peace out.